pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Anyone wishing to address council? Kelly?
Just a heads up for spring clean coming on May 17th, just a high traffic alert, usually through Main Street here, so just be aware of that. Playground equipment install, we're accepting bids until April 22nd. So far we have 3 bids that have been submitted to get that installed by Family Fun Day, which is July 27th, so before Swedish Festival as well. Music on 6, the dates have been confirmed to begin on June 12th. I will submit those dates to Barb just to make sure there's no conflict. We do have $139 that we raised between 2023 and 2024. We didn't know if we wanted to put a sign up for the pocket park. It's like coming soon for dates. We do have a couple of people that have been asking us what's going on because they don't watch the Borough. So if there's if you want us to use that money towards that, but also what is a goal for our 2025 fundraising? Trash cans, like benches, and I know those are all small things, but sometimes it takes us 2 seasons to get to a certain amount, so.
Oh, that's something you wanna watch in trash cans. The year that we bought those ones that look like stone.
Yeah,
Wintertime, just beat those up bad, so.
and that's something like, let us know if there's a smaller project that, $200, $300, so we'll be thinking about that, but that's something that we'll definitely, when we address it during Music on 6 is what we're raising money for. So.
Yeah.
Paperwork process has begun to go under contract with the St. Joseph Catholic Church building to make it a community center for the Mount Jewett area. We need to know if there are any local permits that need to be addressed to make that a community center and to run it as a community center, and if so, if anybody is aware, who do we reach out to and what cost?
Not aware of it. The big thing, we'd have to probably contact the county to make sure there's nothing that they would, require.
And we're already on the state and county, here's local, so we just wanted to make sure we were on the base for that, so. Alright, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? John?
So, just for the record, my name is John Hydock. I've been a member of the Mount Jewett Borough for more than 25 years. I'm also a state certified wastewater treatment plant operator, holding a Class A license. This is the highest wastewater license that an operator can achieve. Last month, after the public board borough meeting, council member Jesse Wagner asked me what my credentials were. So I'm providing some insight tonight about my education and to perhaps convince some non-believers that I'm not here to personally attack another individual, but to educate those in charge of our wastewater system about the acute failures of our plant and some inexpensive ways to change the direction to provide low rates for my community in Hamlin Township while also maintaining clean streams in the Commonwealth. And so what I have here is these college courses that I took. California State University of Sacramento college courses. The first one is Operation of Wastewater Treatment Plants, Volume 1. Operation of Wastewater Treatment Plants, Volume 2. Operation and Maintenance of Wastewater Collection Systems. Methods of Evaluating and Improving Performance. And also some PA Rural Water Training classes that I took. And on the bottom, from the California State University of Sacramento, Advanced Wastewater Treatment and Small Wastewater System Maintenance and Operation. And so, while I'm talking about maintenance, I would like to talk about something that everybody can relate to. So there's 3 types of maintenance. There's proactive maintenance, there's reactive maintenance, and there's no maintenance at all. And so an example of proactive maintenance would be if you're driving your car and there's nothing wrong with it, and periodically you get the oil changed. That's an inexpensive way to maintain something, and your engine can last a long time. An example of reactive maintenance is you drive your car and you do nothing and drive it, and drive it, and drive it, and sooner than later, the engine fails, and then you buy a new engine, because the engine failed. So that's reactive. You're reacting to the fact that the engine failed, and you put a new engine in your car. Now that's more expensive than proactive maintenance, but it is another way of maintaining things. And the last type of maintenance is no maintenance at all, where you drive your car, and you drive your car, and you drive your car, until the engine fails, then you take it home and park it in the driveway, and now you don't have a car no more. And so how that could relate to our wastewater treatment plant is if you have a logbook, and in every day that you're running the aeration down there, you take your boat out and you grease the grease fittings. Now the aerators are an electric motor with a rubber coupler and a shaft with two bearings, upper lower bearing, a hollow tube, and a impeller on the end, and they mount on a pontoon. When you turn the aeration on, the impeller spins and it puts many air bubbles into the water. The oxygen in the water is critical to the bacteria thriving and breaking down the solids. If you don't have your bacteria thriving, the solids build up in the lagoons, and sooner than later you'll have to dredge the lagoons at a cost of more than $750,000 a piece. So an example of reactive maintenance would be you don't grease the grease fittings, and you just turn on the aeration and you let it run until the bearings fail, and then you go buy new aerators. Now in our case, that aeration failed and we bought new aerators, but somehow we bought the wrong type, and they're 10 horsepower, and now we need a $200,000 electrical upgrade to make the new aerators work. I do have an alternative to that, and then the last type of is no maintenance at all. That would be where you don't grease the grease fittings and the aerators fail, and you do absolutely nothing. And unfortunately, in this case, that's what happened. We've had no aeration for 3 years down there, and according to the Eads Group study on sludge, in 2022, there was 8 inches of sludge down there, and in 2023, there was 17 inches of sludge down there. That is due to the failure of the aeration. Now, those aerators can be fixed with lower horsepower motors, and you wouldn't have to put $200,000 electrical system in. You could run the same size motors and put them on the new aerators and get it back into service. Once that water gets up to 7 degrees Celsius, it's important that you get the oxygen levels up to more than 8 parts per million. If your oxygen levels are too low, you get what's called anaerobic bacteria, and it works like a septic tank. And the bacteria breaks the solids down very slow. It's a different type of bacteria. And so it's really important that we get the aeration going very soon. And worst case scenario, if you didn't wanna put smaller motors on them new aerators, and I don't know what you have left down there for motors, but usually when the bearings fail, either it melts the shaft in half, or it seizes the shaft up and the breaker kicks off. So you may have some good motors down there anyways. And the last time I priced them lower horsepower motors, they were $600 a piece. So you could use a different style rubber coupler, mount them motors on the new pontoons, and put them in service. And that's something that the maintenance guys could do themselves. And it would be cheap and easy, and it would help break down the sludge before we get faced with $750,000 a piece dredging the lagoons. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Mr. Hydock, I'd like to respond. The top of the list is I do want to say thank you so much for, it seems you took my suggestions about a way to particularly talk to us, a way to make it better understandable for me. And I do appreciate you bringing in your credentials. I do want to say that. I've written down notes of what you mentioned, and I will try and look into that. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else to push up?
Yeah, I just want to ask one more. I'm going to do this every month. I've neglected last month, and that's what's the status on the sale of the lagoons? Are we no longer at all interested in selling the lagoons and the sewer system?
They had, really haven't been back to it. I mean, they made some comments and things, but we really haven't heard anything. And have you heard much on it?
I haven't heard anything from them since
Do
November.
we have an interest in selling them still?
Well, I got a lot of mixed feelings on it, so, myself, due to, looking into what a lot of these other communities are paying and what, they would wanna try to charge the customers here, and I'm not in favor of that. You know, it's a lot of BS, you know, I'd rather, you know, do where we're looking into this, you know, as far as upgrading our infrastructure on the sewer system, and with the Penvest, you know, loan and, you know, with the grants and stuff, coming up, we're keeping our payments. I think, what are you paying right now, 44? The most that I think it'd go up to was it 47 that when we looked at-
49 something.
49 something is what it might go up to, which wouldn't be bad at all.
No, that
You
wouldn't
know,
be bad.
and what's nice with Penvest, you know, they'll do, you know, once we get everything figured out as far as cost of things and that need to upgrade things, they'll look into the grant money. That's what they did for Shingle House, that's what they did for Eldred. So that's what would be my thoughts of wanting to go that direction. You know, cause I don't wanna see anybody have to pay 90 or $100
Or more.
yeah. Well,
Like-
even 90 or $100
But it's not off the table selling it. I mean, we haven't decided not to sell it.
No,
They haven't stopped their interest, we haven't stopped any negotiation that has not progressed at all, truthfully.
right.
Again, the Penvest really seems to be what would be the better direction to go.
Is it a
In my
loan or a grant?
What's that?
It's
Is it a
both.
loan or a
It's
grant?
both.
And it's a combination, that they gotta get what it's gonna cost totally, you know, for what, you know, and then they go out and seek the grants, where like over at Shingle House, I think they're paying back $200 and some thousand of the.
What they do is they come in and they look at your community, what you can afford. And they go with an affordable rate based on what people make in your community. Some rates in some communities are $60, $70. Ours come in at 49 and some odd cents. Then they come in and they look, like, the bigger your project, the more grant money you get. Cause they go, okay, this community can afford a $500,000 loan over 30 years. But they have a $7 million project, the rest will be grant money, and that's how they determine it.
It's
So it's
also,
based off demographics then?
yes. It's also worth noting that the interest rate on any loan money is only 1%.
And is this gonna be like most other utilities and services where they give you a nice starting rate and then a year later you get hosed?
So we will still be controlling the rates.
Yeah,
However, if they were to sell it, that would probably be the case.
True, but I'm still all about cheap, simple fixes, and I like what he's saying. I think that, I wish they'd try that right now and get things
Well,
turned
again,
around.
I liked what he had to say. He gave
well, it's fine
simple
for
answers.
something quick, but as far as way people was asking me as far as when we're gonna do all this work in town, I wanna see it for, you know, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, not just for us. We'll be dead, and a lot of us will be dead within 20 years, you know? No, it's a way of life, okay?
I know, I'm just,
But, you know, I wanna see it for the future.
of
And
course.
John brings up some good points, and, you
Yes, he
know,
does.
I mean, and that's something that, you know, we gotta look into some things, but, as far as the long term is what I'm looking at.
I'm looking at long-term too. I just find that new isn't always better. I found that a lot of
Eads
things,
neighbor
so-
came back with a quote to take care of those aerators, did they?
Who
Eads,
eats?
that was 3 months ago, he said he would do that.
I don't know about that. I can definitely look into that. I don't remember that being mentioned, and that's my mistake on knowing. I'll take blame, but,
I have a question about, the certifications for managing the sewer. What is normal for, other boroughs that have, that manage their own sewer? Do we have a certified technician? Do we have
so we have the Eats Group as our certified operator,
each,
and they operate through Mr. Morgan, and he would essentially be what might be under the title like a technician, essentially. And the best way to describe that is, you know, they do the hands-on, and since Eats Group is centered in Clarion, I believe, is that right? I believe so.
So how often do they get up here?
They get up here once a week. They come up for,
Can we present these concepts that John is talking about to them?
Yeah.
To implement?
They have been presented to them. I was reprimanded for change of scope.
so they come up for ammonia, for phosphorus, I think there's 2 or 3 other things that they check. It might even be, no, that's once a month, but every week they come up and do at least, ammonia and phosphorus, I can tell you for sure. Mr. English will be here at next month's meeting, he told me, so. And I will, again, check on those areas. My mistake for not following up.
I don't think.
He
it's
was supposed to
blame.
follow up, it wasn't
Your
you.
blame. I think it's just worth reinforcing, you know, or mention it again, if it wasn't mentioned, that's all.
Alright, anybody else from council, or from council, from
Did I
public?
completely answer your question? Sorry. And I can tell you more if you need, but.
Greg, is that all?
Yeah, that's all I have.
Mitch, you had something?
Yeah, I was wondering if, the borough could get after the end of division and, or beginning, same way at Anderson Street. There's bad bumps there. There's holes.
Potholes, man.
Yeah,
They're planning
Even if
on
it's
it
just
next
something-
week.
I was gonna say, I think that's in the,
They told me today that the weather's supposed to break next week, so they'll be able to put cold patch down.
okay.
You can't do it when it's 20 degrees out, you know.
I don't know, the state's been doing it, doesn't say, but you do it.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but do you want us to put it down and then have to do it again?
Well,
It's a
better
waste
than
of our
you hitting
money.
a bump every day, 4 or 5 times a day.
Anything else, Mitch?
No,
Certification, something Brett can work towards?
he has attempted to, but he has, dyslexia, so it's very difficult.
Did bring up to me the water up at the intersection of Gallup and High. There's
What's that?
water out into the, water draining from somewhere out into the street.
Yes,
It was brought up a few months ago, but it's still,
I brought that up
it was,
because
yeah, it was all
it creates
ice.
an ice
And now-
slip
Oh, out
across right where the school bus stops.
Right, it's
By the
coming
park,
down
Jerry,
from
maybe?
like Mrs.
Yeah, the
Cliff's
entrance
old
into the
house,
park.
like, you know, where Mrs. Cliff's lived.
Yeah.
It's coming down from there towards the intersection, and it's pretty damn icy when, you know, it's colder out, but there's still a good amount of water running out into the road.
Barb, you wanna make a note of that,
I
have Rick
just
and
did.
go look, take a look at that, see what's.
It's pumping from the sump pump out of, that, house that Carl Cook owned. Now Lori Times is living there, but I think Gino owns it.
Alright,
But the sump pump that was put in has no drainage, so it's draining right into the street.
alright, go up and have a look at it, and we'll have to figure out what maybe do to get that diverted. Alright, any other public comment? Not, be closed to the public. Okay, first thing I'm gonna ask you to do a swearing in.
Do you have a paper for
Yeah.
him to swear in?
Yep.
This is just temporary for November.
December, to the end of December.
And then she'll have to have
Unless
that
you're gonna-
other one notarized.
Okay.
The loyalty one's on there.
You weren't on the ballot the first time either. You ran as a write-in
Can I just be?
Yeah.
20 years back.
Well, I think,
What was
I mean,
that,
yeah, we didn't
12?
have anything, you haven't been sworn in at all.
Somewhere
I
in
don't
there.
wanna know.
What,
You don't want us to celebrate your anniversary and bring you cake and all that good stuff, come on.
If you wanna stay on this meeting, you gotta get sworn in at least, you can always resign after the fact, I guess, but, yeah.
But don't vote on anything while you're,
What?
if she's not sworn in,
Yeah,
she
you can't vote on
can't
anything.
legally
You
vote
have
on
to
it.
get sworn in.
Okay.
Do you, I don't know, do you wanna just get sworn in for this meeting and then talk about it after?
Takes about 2 minutes.
Sure.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, alright, so,
I really don't.
do you want, I mean, okay, so you can't vote on anything on this meeting,
That's well.
and you're technically not supposed to talk unless it's public comment, right?
Sure.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, it's okay.
So we're gonna have it open.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess, no, it's okay. Yeah, I guess just know that for the meeting, you can't vote on anything, so
Right.
I think it's fine. I don't have much for my mayor's report, but I just wanted to thank the fire department. I know there was a pretty terrible fire last month, and it was, you know, a lot of work and a lot of effort from them, so I just thank them. I'm gonna go to the meeting on Thursday. I talked to Scott yesterday. He was supposed to be here, but something probably came up. Or they had a control bird tonight, I guess, but, just thank them, and I know they're gonna get back to work on finishing the signs around town, the house over, so that'll be good.
Meeting was last week.
Oh, Scott said it's this week.
It was
Oh.
last week.
It was changed.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, there was a fire.
Oh, it's okay, yeah, sorry, yeah, I talked to him last night, so I, but yeah, anyways, that's all for me.
Just to let residents know, as far as the fire department, putting those signs up. I know the east end still has all the placards from gas companies and power company and whatnot, where he was gonna try to get it done last fall, and it didn't get done, and I have people calling me, asking me, what about these in the yard? I said, well, technically, you can take them out, cause they're only good for,
Right.
what is it, 24 or 36 hours, what is it?
Yeah, it's not very long.
Uh,
They'll have to be,
So we'll have to call the 811 number again to get those all redone and
Brett was doing that for them.
to keep them from getting fined for, or not being fined, have to pay if he hits a line, so.
It's definitely worth calling.
Yeah.
He did a big job.
So if people, I mean, if you hear of anybody saying they want it out of their yard, they can have at it, cause gas company and electric and stuff will be back to put them back in anyhow, as soon as he gets started doing that. Okay, maintenance report, everybody have a chance to look that over?
What's the regulator on the cutting torch? Is that the end nozzle essential? Oxy 711 water, what?
It goes on the tower that holds the gas.
Okay.
That regulates how much gas,
Right,
air regular, how much air is coming through.
It says the clutch fan wasn't working and they didn't fix it,
No,
are they not going to?
Probably not. Isn't that the one we're selling?
Yeah,
right.
yeah, but don't you think it'd be a little easier to sell if it didn't smell like fumes if I took it for a ride? Just thinking.
Have they priced it? I remember we talked about it. Have they priced it?
Don't know.
You mean the book value of it?
No, the cost to repair.
Right, clutch.
Might be worth looking at, that's a valid point. Yeah, it adds value.
Okay, no other questions, I get a motion to accept the maintenance report.
I'll motion to accept the maintenance report.
I'll second it.
Been made and seconded, everybody in favor, say aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Okay,
We don't have a sewer maintenance report tonight.
okay, you do?
No.
Alright, borough manager report,
Okay, I've had quite a few residents ask about the spring cleanup. Last year we held it the week before Memorial Day, $30 per household. You guys wanna do that again? This year? It would be the 19th through the 23rd this year.
Of May.
Yes, of May.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to do,
Yeah, I think it'd be,
cause not
What's
everybody
that?
has a truck to go to landfill.
Well, and I'll tell you what, we don't ever lose money on it,
Yeah.
but it does help everybody. Like, there's a lot of people that don't have a truck, like you said.
Yeah.
A lot of older
Yeah,
people
run
that
it
like
out,
to put
so.
stuff on. What?
I said to run it out, it's a cheaper way to do it there than, you know, to pay
That's what,
your
24
garbage
bucks?
man to.
Do you want
Or
$30
plus
again this
so
year?
30 isn't bad at all, really.
Last year, we actually made like $150.
So I'd say 30 would be fine, and to leave it at 30, that's what I
Yeah.
think.
I think so.
Do we need to motion that or?
Yeah, we should motion
Is
that.
it's 24 out of the landfill right now, correct?
I don't know.
I think it might have been more than that.
It's
Because
30.
the last time I went out, I know it was 24, and I'd seen a sign they were gonna raise it, and I couldn't remember what it went to, so maybe we,
I believe it's 30 now.
would
So
it be
maybe
too
That's
much
per,
to
that's
have
per
it?
ton, so.
Yeah. But it's never under that, you know?
Well, it is for the borough.
Oh, is it?
They give a municipal rate.
Okay,
It's a little bit
so.
cheaper.
we
Not
could
a whole
stick
lot,
to-
but a little
So
bit.
we could stick to the 30 then.
Yeah, I think we'd be safe with sticking to the.
Yeah, I don't know how many will do it if it's more than that, really.
Yeah, it's better than seeing it being thrown over in the woods somewhere.
Do you think we can offer it to people who, like, clearly need it, who've been in violation of the ordinances with their yards and stuff, like, for free?
No,
Something we could do?
no, because they shouldn't be rewarded for.
Yeah, but I also think, like, it gives them a little bit of
Well,
incentive
if
to
that's
do
the
it.
then nobody's gonna
For
report
30
because,
bucks.
Yeah.
you know, if you
Okay, fine,
create-
if someone just needs it, I'll pay for them, because I don't want them drunk in there.
Well, there's a fine line between
I know what
a
you're saying,
budget
no, I know what you're
and
saying, I
being
know what you're
lazy and
saying.
letting it accumulate to where,
I know what you're
yeah.
saying. It
that's-
just, it's, you know, it's a good way to, they don't have an excuse, so.
Okay, can I have a motion to do the garbage pickup that week and at $30 a household?
Okay, I'll second it.
What's that?
Any motions and seconded?
You motion? Second it? Okay.
Who seconded it?
Me.
Motion's been made and seconded to do the garbage pickup on May 19th to the 23rd at $30 a household. Everybody in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, I sent everyone the email regarding the pocket park and where we're at in the grant process. You guys will need to approve a bidding period for the bids once they're ready to put them out of 3 to 4 weeks. And that will have to be in the minutes that you motion to put them out for 3 weeks or put them out for 4 weeks. And then that will need uploaded into the grant.
I would suggest 3 weeks, just so then we can,
Yeah, with the time period now, it's kind of long. I don't want to go over that.
that and be ready for the next council meeting.
You gonna motion that?
I'll motion,
I'll
Okay,
second.
Frank, for 3 weeks, right?
3 weeks.
3-week period. You'll second it, Jesse? Everybody in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried.
We'll need to advertise the 2016 F-550. I didn't know if you guys want it in both the Kane and Bradford papers. I don't know.
I think might be a good idea because it reaches more people that way.
That's what I was thinking.
What's the
You
book
better
value
put
on
it in
it?
Truck Trader. Is that still a thing?
Auto Trader is same.
We used to have Auto Trader, Truck Trader, and then like with boats and recreation and stuff, I don't know. if
Most communities use municipal bid.
Marketplace
I was just
reaches a
gonna
lot
say-
of people.
Yeah,
Can I? Did you guys want to put it on municipal or not?
Did we do that with the last
I've never
one?
done it before, so I would I don't have to
How did?
figure out how to do it.
well, let's see what the book value is first on, this is one with the
Vanish.
clutch.
Yeah.
And, yeah, we'll see what,
Well, we need to get it
What's-
moving so that.
yeah.
Well, right, you
We need
can
to know
always
what
get
to
it
ask for
advertised
it.
and, right.
yeah.
It's up to you guys.
I remember somebody saying they thought expected to get $40,000 out of it.
Alright,
Go ahead and get it out for advertising.
yeah,
Okay.
Do we need a motion yet?
I guess we're spending money, so, yeah, we should.
Is that one? Motion to advertise
I'll
both
second.
papers?
I'll second.
Jesse seconds. Everybody in favor, say aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carried.
You know, can I just say, for the limited amount of money that you'll be spending, I would put it out there, I'd put it out there. Because there might be somebody looking for exactly that.
Alright.
Okay, my next thing is John Hines Jr., who did our seasonal work down at the ponds last year, has found another job and won't be returning, so we're gonna need to advertise for a seasonal employee. John Hines actually mentioned that maybe in the ad it should be to come see the job site when you're applying, because it's not like you're just gonna sit on a mower and mow. You're gonna weed eat, you're gonna clean, sand filters. The job and title, it's more than just, but that's up to you guys.
I think that's reasonable. Then they know.
That could be part of their interview, really, just
That would be fine.
say, you know.
That's true, if they
interview,
come in for an interview, that
dress
could be
for
part of the,
outdoor.
so we're gonna have to put that in there.
Just in-person interview required.
Okay, and do you wanna put that in both papers also?
What's that?
Do you wanna advertise in both papers for that also?
I would say we should.
Okay, you got a motion and a
I'll
second.
motion.
Anybody second?
Second.
Oh. Okay, motion been made to advertise both paper, Kane and Bradford, for, hiring a part-time sewer person down there, everybody in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, the new truck has been delivered to, Utilitech to get the upfit done. I've been looking around for financing, I found, 5.4% interest with F&B equipment financing. F&B is the when we first got our water money, we invested with F&B. That's where I found them from. I've checked all the banks around us. I believe CNB was at 9%. Hamlin, the best they could do is 7 to 8%. And the people that we bought it from can do 8 to 9%. So I got it all taken care of. The paperwork is there. I just need you guys to say it's fine to go ahead forward with it.
Well, I think we should go with and it's the reputable bank company that.
I mean, it's up to you guys how you take
5.4.
care of it or whatever. I don't.
I'd be down for the 5.4% interest. It's the cheapest we've shopped.
Yeah, she did a lot of shopping as far as trying to find it.
Well, as long as they're not like Wells Fargo, I don't know who these people are, but
Why Wells Fargo?
I hate Wells Fargo. They-
That's
I'll
fine.
tell you what. Chuck used to use them quite often to finance his stuff.
This FNB.
First National Bank is what it is.
I'm gonna
FNB.
call it that from now on. I
And they're
feel
out
like
of
I'm trying to-
Our
Pittsburgh.
CDs, why don't you?
I'm saying it bad.
And they were the ones that we
had.
had our
Yeah.
CDs with when they first got our water money.
So I'm gonna motion to go ahead with FMB.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Everybody in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, and last but not least, I reached out to Don Payne, from the Kane Borough, inquired about them using their street sweeper, sweeping for us. He told me he would let us know once their streets were completed and he would help us out. So I don't know how long it'll be, I don't know when it'll be. Rick told me that there's, that new machine is being repaired right now. So,
They're new
It's
one.
not May
Yeah.
19th.
so,
I guess keep us posted.
They still have their old one too.
yeah, so he said, Don was real nice about it, he said that he needed to get his stuff taken care of first.
Right.
which,
Well, I think it's a cheaper way to go anyhow than,
That money's budgeted this year, right?
yeah, renting one. And,
well, and PennDOT's been through Main Street already this year.
Well, with the, not with the regular one, have they?
We just saw them the other day go through with
Was
it.
that with the broom or was that with the street sweeper?
I don't know, the guys just said, oh, look, PennDOT's street sweeping, so I don't know.
Well, they had the broom down at the end of town, at least down by my place, I don't know if that's what they ran through, but that just throws it over to the curb anyhow, so. I didn't notice where they come through and actually did the street sweeping.
I'll motion to accept the borough manager's report.
Motion been made, need a second?
Second.
Motion been made and seconded, everybody in favor, say aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carried. Okay, approval of the minutes. Everybody should have time to read those over if you went online and looked at it. Motion?
I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes.
I'll second.
Say second. Motion been made and seconded, everybody in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Stand approved as read. Okay, approval of the sewer department financial report, or, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Approval of the treasury report and the payment of bills for the borough.
Is there a reason why the library's electric is going up every month?
Going up, I thought it was,
Well, in January it was reported it was 63, February it was 75, March was 88, and now it says 100.
Well, probably because, it's been so cold out and they have forced air furnace, so.
Are those
Their
actual or
furnaces.
estimated readings?
I was gonna say, I wonder
They're
if they-
actual readings.
They're actual.
I believe they're actual.
But you would think that it would have been more expensive January and February, at least that's what I experienced.
Well, January would be December's, February would
I
be
understand it's been
January's.
colder this month, but it's been a lot colder in February and March.
Are there actual lights on?
I have forced air at the building. My electric bill goes through the roof. But then, like now, my electric bill is hardly anything.
I don't know, I know, you know,
I'm just wondering if something's odd's going on.
Well, do they have anything going on in the evenings that would require lights to be on when they normally aren't, or, I'm just wondering, is there,
The longest open day would be election day, I think.
I know sometimes there's special programs and stuff. I don't know if they-
yeah, that's true, I mean, they've had some on Saturdays there, some special programs, but I don't know.
Well, the hot water tank went, maybe it was pulling
Oh.
extra electricity.
Was the hot water tank actually electric?
Yes. No.
No, that's gas,
Are you sure? No, it was electric.
oh, it's electric?
Yeah.
That might have been where it's at then.
Okay, then that would explain it.
'Cause I think the one element shorted out and the tank started leaking.
A motion to pay the bills.
And the pay, and for both and for payment and the bill? Yeah. So motion been made and seconded, Ona, you seconded? Been made and seconded, everybody in favor, say aye. Anybody opposed? Motion's been carried. Alright, approval of the sewer department financial report and bills.
Which line item is what Hamlin pays?
What's that?
Hamlin pays us monthly for our sewer.
Yeah,
Which line item is that one? The 1301?
when you emailed me, I told you it's in one of the customer deposits.
Yes.
But I could break it out, I just didn't.
Yeah.
I can't tell you which one it is, it's one
Okay.
of the ones that have $2,000 in it. It's probably the one that has 3761, I can go and look if you'd like me to.
And they're only paying us $10.75 per EDU?
Yes,
Okay.
and they have 144 EDUs, so they pay us $15.48 a month.
Motion to accept the sewer report and pay sewer bills.
Get a second for it?
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded, everybody in favor, say aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Okay, committee reports. Maintenance of the streets and building. Rick's not here to, we're gonna put that on here. Alright. Something we need to, I don't know if anybody's thought about as far as we haven't paved, how long has it been since we paved? Did any paving on the streets?
Not last year, year before.
Year before? I didn't know if we should be looking at, I mean, it's getting kinda late as far as getting the,
So what I would say is if you're talking about full street paving, or are you talking about potholes?
no, full street.
So my thought process would be, we're gonna be doing the, it'll be next year, but we'll be doing the sewer repair, that'll be digging up a lot of the streets, so why not hold off and then we'll do it all at once then. We can do potholes, of course, but,
Yeah, well, that's general maintenance.
but, I would suggest waiting until next year.
Are you guaranteed to start this work next year?
Actually, that's a good point, not guaranteed, because it depends on if we accept the Penvest loan or the
If we
sale.
even get
And
anything reasonable?
That's correct.
when it goes through as far as having the, getting the project started.
So maybe I would say hold off on this vote until December or January, cause then we would know the Penvest loan, and then we can do it still next year.
I thought we were looking for a grant for Anderson or something like that.
Yeah, we didn't get it, it went to
Wow.
Bradford.
There's no other grants?
I haven't seen any, but I'm
Okay.
sure there might be, I don't,
That's up to you, just my suggestion.
Which street is the worst?
I don't know, that's what I'm trying to think what, you know. Yeah.
You know, the bottom of my street's bad, the bottom of Division Street's bad, Anderson's iffy,
Maybe
I
quote,
don't know.
maybe quote,
Okay,
Kind of
so
blanket.
Get a couple
I
quotes?
mean, I go out and, take a ride with Rick or something, go and look at them, see what we think would be the ones, and just next month bring it back and, or get a hold of the state and have them look at the ones we thinking about and see about a price, or you'll get quotes. But it's not gonna happen till next month as far as bringing the stuff back to.
It'll be warmer, that's good for the, materials themselves. So I think delay till next month, take the ride around, I'd be down.
well, if you go around and look, then we could get a hold of Sean Auguste and we could
Right.
actually have some prices on different
Right.
streets.
So I said the state
But,
ought
yeah.
to do that. Their evaluation or their pricing for us. Alright, I'll do that, I'll go out and look at them.
What's going on with the rest of the sidewalks?
Up to The other end, you mean?
Yeah,
I don't know whatever happened to, we got shot
wasn't
down
Eads
on
supposed
that
to come
grant, or-
across with something with that?
Pardon me?
Wasn't Eads supposed to come across with some pricing or something on the sidewalks?
Well, I mean, Brett had brought up one time as far as
I didn't
what it
know
would
anything
cost
about
us to do
Eads.
it ourselves. But we didn't ever,
There was
I mean,
talk
'cause we
about
tried
that,
for a
yeah.
grant and we got denied for that one grant. But we haven't,
So we should have a price on what it would cost.
I don't know if we have, did we, yeah, I guess we should, cause we put out for a grant, you know, I mean, we applied for a grant, so we should have something.
And isn't there
But
another
now, see
grant coming
that,
up?
what we talked about doing, if we're doing ourselves, we don't have to go by what they go by as far as the.
You don't have to have all the extra stuff that PennDOT requires.
No, if you only, especially that one spot where, you know, you can't even shovel, those people can't even shovel their sidewalk.
I mow
Should-
mine.
Should
Yeah.
should we think about a
I don't
price
even
for
have one.
at least that
The
section of
old street
sidewalk?
goes under my sidewalk.
Mine is the street.
So
Well-
nothing drains and all the silt builds up and then grass grows up through it and.
The problem would be the electric for the lights if we were to
Right.
extend the lights that far down.
Yeah.
I just see it as a major hazard, and if we're not getting grants, and I guess apparently we don't have any kind of real price on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can look in and see if we can find to where we apply again for another grant.
So are you just looking on doing like from Anderson Street to Overk? Is that what you, like, cause that's
That's like the
really the
worst
worst
of it, yeah.
area?
That's like the worst
Like if you
area.
could get a price on that, maybe
Yeah.
we ourselves could just do that. And then if you, like, I mean, I don't know, do we need to take the lights that much farther? I don't know. Do you
It's
guys?
true, we might not have to take the lights that
You
far.
wouldn't have to take them, I mean, that'd be up to us. what
I know
we
that
do
those
with it.
people that live in that section have complained, I mean, it's bad, you know,
Right.
but, I mean, I don't know
I'll
who
tell you
you,
all about it as far as putting flags up and
Yeah.
they're going this way and that way and it's, you know, it's horrible for.
The Swedish festival was, it's.
but maybe
a
we
liability
could, maybe we
issue,
could
too.
reach
Yeah.
out to some, like, somebody who does some at work and see what they, kind of price they could give us on it.
Or bust the concrete up and throw gravel down.
Let's just put a zip line
There you go.
in. Hook 'em to it and
That would be the cheapest way.
Welcome to Mount Jewett.
Well, let's reach out to some commercial contractors as far as,
Okay.
I don't want just anybody, I want like that company that did the rest of them. They know how to handle that as far as taking out the curbing and.
Well, I'll
different
talk to Sean Auguste too, cause
Alright.
he might be able to give us pricing on that along with the streets,
things. Alright.
seeing that PennDOT does that type of stuff. Doesn't hurt to ask.
No. Good idea.
Since you're on the sidewalks, who's supposed to repair a sidewalk? A utility company if they break the wall? When they dig through there?
When they dig through, that's up to the utility company to repair it or to put one back in, replace it.
Stop by and I'll show you when they say that. The gas company.
They're usually pretty good about replacing it.
Now, they got it leveled in there a little bit and then it busted in half and everything. So it's gonna be nothing to go further.
All right, finance and insurance.
Yeah. I think that, having gone over the insurance and the options, I think our best bet is to just stay where we're at. If we go moving, any other thing, the big thing we're gonna lose is, coverage out of the area. And right now, New York State's out of the area. You know, if our, our guys were to go out of the area at all, then it wouldn't be covered. And I just don't think that's a real good idea.
Which one are we currently doing
The highlighted one, the, second one in.
Oh, okay.
I did budget a 15% increase, so we are within what I budgeted. I do realize it went up,
I
but
didn't realize as far as highlighted, it's black.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a 10.14% increase, and we did budget 15%, so I don't think that it's wise to make moves that could it potentially cost a lot of money.
So that's the second one in.
It's the same plan, it's just more expensive now this year, right, so.
Right. Oh, my God,
Everything.
property insurance every year.
Our insurance just goes up.
Everything does.
The doctors don't get better, it's not.
Try putting bacon
I don't
with
have
it.
$4. What are you talking about?
That's right. Anyway, that's just my opinion.
I agree.
But if we maintain this, they can go out of network? Okay.
They're covered anywhere in the
Yeah,
United
the,
States.
Okay.
the other one's an EPO, and I asked what an EPO is, and it is, it only covers you in network. So if we were out of, like, say somebody went on vacation and they got hurt, it wouldn't be covered because you'd be out of the network. Or if we were shipped to Buffalo, we wouldn't be covered because we're out of network.
That's ridiculous, they're covering the person, not the,
Yeah, that's not,
they'll find anything in there, I'm
Areas.
telling you.
they do it by areas.
And that's
And actually, even, I think Countersport is even out of our network. I mean, it's gotten to be ridiculous, you practically can't even,
they just hold one doctor.
yeah, it's about it.
And this one's not even that much more expensive for all,
No,
for all coverage.
I don't think it can.
You say what was budgeted,
I
You
budgeted
up the
15% increase, yeah.
that covers that.
I'll motion to keep the, go with the 10% increase option.
So with the one that we have, with them. Okay, motion been made, need a second?
Second.
Okay, motion been made and seconded, everybody in favor, say aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Okay, Jesse, personnel,
I don't really have too much. The only thing that's worth mentioning is, I talked with, well, I guess it's worth saying, you suggested I get their phone numbers and meet with them, cause I did miss that last month, I apologize. I did meet with them, they didn't really have too much in the way of concern, I did mention, up on Division Street from Mitch last month, it's just ice, it was kinda difficult, it's probably melted now, so that's better. And we will try and do the, maybe the potholes, or we'll do it with, the, next month in that talk. But, the only thing that they mentioned, I don't think this was in the previous month, but, they've had, residents, chase them down to the Borough building and yell at them. I would strongly suggest that you do that in this forum, just, as a note, and that's all personal. Oh, no, I'm wrong. There's one more thing. We are trying to get, the, Capella to work. We found the printer that will work. I'm looking at the program. It's a bit over my head for like programming and stuff like that, but I'll give myself a month, maybe two, to try and figure that out, and if not, then we may have to find an alternate method, is what I'm thinking, but, we are working on that. That would end up saving, if we can do it, that would end up saving us, approximately $15,000 a year.
That's the billing system in case you guys decided to go to, based on usage. What we have right now for flat rate works fine.
And that is personnel.
okay, community development, planning and parks. Frank?
Well, I did have somebody approach me with, wanting to put a little patio or something over there by the concession stand and the toilets. I think an email went out for that. Anyway,
I've never seen it.
that's all right. I contacted a contractor, just a rough idea, well, actual cost over the phone. It actually came out to about $12,500. It would be
How big of a pad?
15 by 30. but it was patio lots.
Why, I mean, the or the, ball teams are wanting this or something?
No, just somebody approached me with it, they thought, hey, that might be a neat area to have one, just to, especially with the concession stands, maybe a couple of benches,
Yeah,
things of that nature. And I told them I'd get a price and I'd present it, but there's not generally a budget for parks.
right.
And if there's no budget, you know,
15 by 30 is pretty big.
What's that?
It says 15 by 30 is pretty decent size. Would it need to be that?
no, it wouldn't even need to be that big, I just went,
Especially that's
The
almost a
largest
basketball
possible.
court, really.
Yeah, it is.
That's crazy.
it is.
I think
And
it
if
was
you
just
go-
poured concrete, it'd be cheaper too, probably. Right?
Well, yeah, if you went, well, actually, believe it or not, that size poured concrete, they priced it out at 11,000. So figure that one out. Well, concrete's still expensive.
But it holds up better, those pavers are really.
I don't know, Heritage Park's holding up pretty good.
They don't get the travel, you know what I mean?
Well, he was to,
'Cause if
the
that-
person that quoted it out was 8 by 8 by 2 inch pavers. You could actually drive on it.
Well, 2 inch, you could crack them if you drive on them.
Well,
And you're not getting below the, frost.
Yeah.
no,
Not going to for any of them as far as that's 3 feet you're talking.
but it's just something that somebody brought up, and if, I don't know if there's a grant somewhere. It might be
So
in
where-
project.
Which area was it?
Right there in front of the bathrooms, where the tree is.
It's gravel now, right?
Oh,
No,
okay,
it's grass.
this side.
Yeah,
down the-
it's grass.
towards us. All right,
And actually, if we did put some sort of patio and it met up with the pavement there by the bathrooms, it would make it a little easier to access for handicapped people. Cause it's kinda hard right turn there.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many people come out to see baseball games or whatever in a wheelchair, but I've seen the elderly, including myself, almost fall over.
The elderly?
I
guess the biggest thing is, without the budget, we can, do we know of any loans, or not loans, grants we can look into?
We'd have to see what there's out there for parks and.
And most of them are only a 50% match.
Okay, how much were the blocks?
If we did it with the pavers, the price the guy, it was only one quote, it was over the phone, it was like $12,500. But like I said, that's 15 by 30, maybe we decide to go 10 by 12.
How much, do you know how much, and this is something I should actually know, how much, comes in just a concrete truck, like one load of concrete truck?
Oh geez, I don't know.
Depending on what truck they use, most of them are 7 yards, they do have 10-yard trucks.
Oh, the TSA?
So,
That's a thought. Kind of dig up the grass and put the trail TSA there.
what's TSA, I'm sorry?
I don't know, what do we?
It's a mix of limestone.
It's like
Yeah.
vines that pack together really good and almost, I don't know, huh?
If you're doing if you're not looking, pull up any paving, you can use the paving grinds,
Oh, yeah.
something like that.
I mean, that's a,
That
and
does.
then she's talking about little projects, maybe she'll buy a couple of benches. Heritage, you get a couple of benches for over there.
So on that, I was told by one of our contractors today that there is a grant that is due on May 1st. He's gonna send me the link tonight, that is for $50,000 to $150,000 for parks. But I don't know the details if it has to be a 501c3, and if it's a 501c3, do I have to go on the property, blah, blah, blah. But if it is not, I can definitely send that to Barb to look into, because my goal would be to, not just that, but also the ball field itself, talk to the sports boosters, see if we can make the risers look kind of shabby.
Yeah,
So
those
kind of
benches
maybe
are
update
pretty
that,
good.
especially if we have 50 to 150, if yours just costs that much, while they're out there, let's kind of revamp just here and there. But I will let Barb know if that, what I find out by that would be due May 1st, so.
All right,
I would throw the basketball court in there too, that can be, there's cracks in there, and last year I asked them to paint it at least, so you could do like around the world and different. The basketball court's used, I know they replaced.
Oh, no, I know it's used, you actually
Place the
wanted to
hoops.
paint the,
The key.
Yeah, that's, so you can play.
yeah. But that got shot down.
Well, it would be,
It's not a regulation court though, I mean.
No,
it
I
would
think
be-
there was gonna be more half
there'd be
court.
A lot of
Yeah.
overlapping.
That's all they were looking for, was half court.
Ah,
Yeah.
well, I'd be in favor of applying for the grant if we're eligible.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
The basketball court's always busy.
It
For
is.
that kind of money, we would definitely have to come
Well,
up with.
All day.
When they put that temporary ice skating rink, that was pretty busy also.
That was cool.
That's what we talked about,
Mhm.
possibly doing that in the back.
Yeah.
And we still don't know how much room we have because they wanna put T-ball back there.
I think, do we need a motion to apply for the grant, or I guess.
Well, we'll have to get the information first.
Right.
Sorry, I don't have it yet. I'm kinda in the dark too, I'm willing to provide, but I'm willing to submit.
We could motion that we apply for the grant. If
All the
she-
requirements and-
Says, yes, it's good to go, or no, we're gonna have to spend, $8,000 of our own money or something.
We'll find out what's out there first. and
Yeah.
then
Sure.
Look through our options.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, there's no reason to rush it, I mean, we can
No.
bring it back next month.
Wouldn't really be voting on anything.
You're not gonna do nothing this month,
Well-
probably not even next month.
Right.
Well, the requirement
Nice
is.
out.
May 2nd. May 2nd,
May first.
May first, it's when it's due.
So.
And that's like 2.5 weeks.
yeah.
Oh, believe me, I know. The good thing is the contractor says that he's helped, I guess this is a PA grant, that he has helped many playgrounds and parks win, so he would be an advisor on that. It's just finding out the details. He's like, oh, you're a 501c3. I'm like, yeah, but I don't own the land. He's like, ooh, you have to look into that, so. Until that's all the information I know.
And with all that stuff, I would like to have cameras up there too. Because with every improvement seems to come the inevitable disrespect and vandalism.
We got cameras right at the entrance, but they never went any further.
And I don't think they ever worked right either.
I don't know.
We had a heck of a time with,
I would just add that into as long as it's covered by the grant money, we can do that in the grant.
Yeah. Yeah, so whatever we decide to do, we lost some money.
you know. I mean, that's a lot of, trying to put something together and having it in by that date's gonna be the tough thing.
Right.
As far as for that one.
It would be very tough. I mean, as far as,
Got a headache already.
I can help.
I guess the best.
You got it grant ready?
Perfect. And obviously Kelly and Mr. Ion should come in as well.
Well, what do you wanna do?
I think we should try for it. The worst can happen is we don't meet the deadline, or we don't meet the requirements, or we don't get the money.
Here's the other thing, it seems like it comes every year, so if it's not this year,
if we'd be ready for next year, well, actually, I can't say that because I got a quote for, a parking lot over there, and I think it's doubled now. If back then it was 30, now it's like 60.
I think we ought to do the best we can towards it, and if it doesn't happen, then we'll.
Plan for next year.
Plan B.
Well, it
Try
doesn't
again
cost
next
you
year.
anything to apply for it, so you're not spending money just to apply. So if you're granted it, then, like, if you guys decided, like, say you're granted it, and it comes out to, it's a $50,000 project, and we have to come up with 25, you decide not to do it, then you just turn the grant down.
Or size it down to where it's affordable to us.
Yeah, but they.
I mean, to motion, you could apply for a grant without a motion, as long as it doesn't cost you money to do it.
So, as far as I'm concerned, we go for it.
So we don't need a motion, we just look into that.
I'll share it once I got it. Thanks, Kelly.
Frank, do you want us on new business, do we wanna go ahead and do it since it's on the park?
Oh, the plaque. Yeah, well, we've had a couple individuals come about the Dana Paulson sign,
Right.
which rotted.
Right.
And I was just thinking, plaque,
What on that, I was
It's
trying to,
10
on
by,
your thing, it was something like, was it 8 by 10 or what was
some,
the
I think it was
size?
8 by 10, I don't remember all the details, but it was only like $150 or something. And you just put like in memory of Dana Paulson, just
Yeah,
as simple
and
as that.
And I wish nobody's here on the council could probably, cause his brother Carl and his wife Alicia was, talked about doing something and then it never came about. And I mean, as long as I don't, I don't wanna upset the family, of course, she's the only one still alive as far as close family
I
member.
can call Alicia.
But I
Oh, and
mean,
then maybe find out how she would like it worded, or,
yeah, I think that'd be,
Or her, yeah.
and what was the price?
I think it was
can't remember what you had.
150.
it wasn't a
170.
lot, it was
wasn't a
under
whole lot
two
of money.
hundred.
Why don't
And it was metal.
I think
and
we have her talk to Alicia about it, to see, and make sure that's all right if it's, 8
So I
by
know
10.
she talked to me at one point in time of them putting in a plaque.
Yeah,
And I said, well, whatever you'd like. Well, then I never heard back from her, so I
Right.
just,
well, I would look
okay.
into it with her then and go ahead and get something, see about taking that, what you have there and, going with that. And I don't see a problem with, Borough picking that up either, cause it's, that field come about cause of, the Paulson family. A lot of that was done cause,
It could go
Through them.
right where
the signs up.
the big, whatever sign it is,
Entry park sign.
the Rotary put in.
Yeah,
And then there's people always, including Angela, who are always talking about putting little gardens in the park.
Well, I think that's the ideal place for the community garden. Because
Well-
there's people that are always,
Ideal place, but I was thinking, at least if anything, if we did decide to do the plaque, maybe let somebody do something around the Rotary sign and the plaque and
yeah.
nothing crazy, just some flowers, look
Yeah.
nice.
What's up, Barb?
Oh, I was just stretching, sorry.
Well, unfortunately, community gardens, that's also where the community dog do.
Yes.
yes, it's a
So-
dogs are a problem with the.
Well, she was
No, the
talking,
people are the problem.
Well,
They're
yes,
taking
it's
the
not
dogs
the
up there
dogs, sorry, you're right. It's-
and aren't cleaning up
The
after
dog
them.
pickup is the problem.
Yeah, we even have
Even the dog,
the bags up there for them
Container
to
that's
take
there.
care of it too.
Yeah,
you do,
they don't,
they're not changed or picked up or something.
So I would,
Well, let's have Ona get, with her and
and then we'll take it from there and go
then, cause I
see
like,
about
I'm
the
glad
garden.
you, I'm
Maybe
glad
you'll get a
you,
garden out of the deal.
I'm glad you looked into that,
I have
Yeah.
my own garden.
get something like that, cause that's a good idea to have, when the.
Well, Lynette came here, what, twice, 3 times
Yeah.
since I've been sitting here, and it's like, there's gotta be something we can do, and I was
Yeah.
just searching online, and I'm like, that might work.
Yeah,
And actually, I was looking at a little plaque that you would just put on the building of the concession, but then I'm like, that
yeah, it'd
worked.
be neat to have it on just a
Yeah.
post there to,
so I would almost suggest,
You
since
have
we
a brand
saved
new one.
approximately 5 on what we budgeted for the insurance, we might be able to allot, you said just like a plaque or something in dedication.
well, I kinda wanna wait till we see
Yeah.
what.
Once she comes
Lisa
back and
comes back
says,
with
well,
it.
it's okay,
If she
Then-
likes the idea of what was it an 8 by 10?
I'm pretty sure it was like
I can't
8
remember
by
what you
10,
had.
it wasn't very big,
Yeah,
Okay, sorry, I'm putting the,
and it came on,
Cart in front of the
it had
horse.
its own spike,
yeah,
and it was all metal, so, I think it was cast aluminum.
That's cheaper than the pavers, you just put those on forever.
We could, we just put a whole bunch of plaques down.
Like Heritage Park. Like Heritage Park.
Hmm.
Sell them.
Good?
Yeah, but that's cheaper than
alright,
paper.
we'll take care of that then. After-
You have nothing else for the park, right?
I have nothing.
Okay. Fire departments, did, Jane, you probably know what's going on or anything? Did you-
Nobody's
Nobody say anything
Said
to you?
anything, no.
said you thought Scott.
Yeah, I
was
Scott
gonna be
talked to
here.
Scott, he was, yeah, he, nothing crazy, didn't bring anything up. Thought he'd be here, but, he's all good up there. They
Okay,
have a fundraiser coming up, don't they have their food drive promotion?
Recognition night is coming up in April.
Oh, yeah, they have that, and then, aren't they,
Yeah.
do they do food drive sometime too, don't they?
that's
don't
a
they?
weekend thing, I was.
Recognition night available?
Oh, yeah, what was the recognition that they're doing there?
I sent it to everybody.
Yeah, Barb sent out a email or whatever,
I think it's the
Everybody's-
26th or something.
interested, when is it, May 26th?
26th.
April?
April 26th.
What's that?
I don't think I'm
Recognition
available.
It
night.
had a
What's
RSVP
that?
on it if you guys were going to go,
Yeah.
to let them
That's
know.
what
Yeah,
I'm
I
asking,
never looked at
if we're
my
all
dates
gonna
to
try
see
to
if
go
it would
or.
work.
It always seems like the end of the month. What's going on? Where's the list?
So if anybody's on council's interested in going to that, Barb's gonna have to know so that we can let them know.
The fire department is putting it on, it's.
I think they might be mailing us something too, right?
And they have-
What?
That's the next day.
I emailed everybody that.
No, I know
the-
you did, I know,
Last
I,
time member?
they page us for my address, I wasn't sure if they were like putting
It
it
should
in
be
the mail
mailed.
too or
anything
something.
No, it would've been mailed to you.
I don't know, normally they just send a,
Email, yeah.
talk to Barb and then she emails us about, if we wanna go to it, so. If anybody's interested, we'll have to get with her on that.
By the 15th, please. Please.
Okay, library, Angela, did you take any notes
I
from what?
do. Yeah, so the library, has just recently finished the annual report and everything is fine. If anyone is interested in, recommending books to be purchased, you can always go in and see the librarian and let them know. You know, it is, they do have funds to buy books that are recommended from the community, so, I just wanted to compliment Courtney on the programming she's got planned for this summer. There's some excellent things she's bringing into our town. And currently, and maybe this could go with the, gardens, she's got the master gardeners there with a seed box, so anyone interested in planting a garden, there are lots, every vegetable you want. The seeds are free, and they also have, flowers, so if we wanted to, we have free seeds available to us to beautify anywhere we would like to plant seeds around town, or create, anybody interested in gardening. I got all my seeds there this year. So, it's a simple process and, it's really great for our library to be able to offer that. The back room in the library has a brand new storage area and it looks fabulous. Thanks to Tom here for, the great work he did there. And this is gonna help the library out a lot with storage and organizing, all the arts, crafts, books, supplies, etc. that they have to. Also, the library's gonna be doing another STEAM program, summer program again this year. And the library and the Rotary are currently doing fundraising for the endowment. And this fund is important as it secures the library in our community for future generations. And this is the first year that the endowment has been successful enough that they're now withdrawing interest from the endowment to help offset the cost of the library. So encourage anyone that wants to support the library. This is a great time to do it because the Rotary matches anything that's donated up to $2,000 this year. And the other note is that the best way to keep our library here is to use it and support it by getting a library card. And if you're really a friend of the library, you'll have a library card in your wallet. So, and I think that's all.
Okay, code enforcement, Brett's not here, discuss that, sewer operation, Jesse?
The biggest point to make note of about the sewer operations, we have had an overage from our permit on the ammonia this month. We're keeping an eye on it, of course, Eads is aware. The prevailing theory about why that happened is just due to the amount of hot and cold we've had. It's literally been 70, it's literally been 0 in the last month. And so what it is again, most likely is parts that eat the ammonia in the lagoons have slowed down because it's cold and then it's hot again, so it keeps going. This is further supported by the permit itself, as ammonia levels are allowed to go up to 4.5 milligrams per liter in the winter. It's, I believe, 1.5 or 1.0 in the summer. I also talked about, I talked to Mr. English about the design, how it's coming along. He said it's a bit slow. I think that's more on the government side. I believe he needs access to some system that allows for understanding of where each of the properties are and all the ownerships and stuff like that. I'm not 100% on that. He didn't go into detail except for it's a system. That's the most likely.
These ammonia levels, does that standardly happen every spring then? The springs?
Go over the permit? No.
Yeah.
No. It shouldn't go over the permit, but again, they're aware, they're researching it. It was a minimal overage, but it was an overage.
May I ask
That's a violation.
Mr. Credential's opinion on that? Cause I don't.
The ammonia levels are dictated in the permit of what they can be, and what he's saying is the ammonia levels have exceeded what the permit's levels are, and that's caused from lack of oxygen. The bacteria releases, when the bacteria breaks the solids down, it releases the ammonia into a ammonia nitrogen gas, and then the bubbles pop to the top and they're released into the atmosphere in the form of ammonia nitrogen gas. That can't happen because there's no oxygen down there. There hasn't been any for 3 years. And that's the problem.
So
And
this
by the end
goes-
of today, we're not gonna be any farther towards having the problem solved than we were before, because nobody's doing anything about the aeration system down there. It's laying on the ground. Somebody should be down there tomorrow. Norm Johnson and I fixed 5 of those ourselves with our own hands. And there's no reason our maintenance crew and Brett Morgan can't go down here and fix them things tomorrow and get them working.
So is your,
No
When I say
oxygen is why the
professional,
ammonia's too high, and a combination of cold water. When the water gets above 7 degrees Celsius, you need to put the oxygen to it, more than 8 parts per million. Somebody needs to be monitoring that every day. You can't do that in 3 to 7 minutes per day. Can't do it. We need to change how we're running the plant. Somebody needs to be down there monitoring it that understands how it works.
thank you.
Anything else?
The other portions are, this will not have, as he said, he was slow on getting this information. This should not have any effect on our timeline for August submittal to PennVest nor October determination from PennVest. In current federal clouds, we've had a lot of governmental cuts. So I asked Marty about PennVest having any cuts to their funding. He talked to them in February and said that this is not an issue for them. They are independent, and anything that they get from the federal government is above and beyond and just icing on the cake for them. Those would be my talking points.
All right, old business, sister cities, nothing.
I got the renewal for another year that you guys wanna do that, it's money being spent for their membership, your membership is due,
It was like $180.
$190.
Well,
I recommend looking into Community Heart and Soul again. Johnsonburg just signed up for it, Port Allegheny's doing it, and it's been very successful along Route 6. And highly supported by the state.
It's like a local thing.
That's, yeah, Community Heart and Soul. Maybe there would be a way to transfer that to,
well, thoughts as far as renew it, $180 to,
If you guys, I mean,
Are we using it?
What's it doing? Yeah.
yeah,
what's
I
it-
mean, it was obviously Chuck's brainchild, but I honestly just haven't had time to dive into it. It's just we had to research on our end to find a city that they partner with, so then it's like, I think we could wait if we wanna renew it. I just need to do a little more research on my end there and talk with Courtney. I know Courtney wanted to do something at the library about it, but I think we can wait and sign up when it makes sense if we want to again. I don't think we need to do it now. It's not like an auto renew or anything like that. You
No.
have to like do it again.
No, I got a bill for it.
Yeah. I would just hold on it if you can, and then if it comes time, we can sign up again if we want to.
alright, we'll just drop it down. Alright, new business, the lighting on the library, I gave you last week, or Barb put last month, Barb put in your boxes as far as the quotes to get that work done.
That was all from Davis, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I emailed it to everybody.
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah.
We have the money for it, right?
Yeah,
I motion we just do it.
Second.
okay, Frank motions, Jesse seconds it. To have that work done. Everybody in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Barb, will you let Tom know that? If I don't see him?
Yes, I will.
Okay, financing on the truck, we took care of that, right?
Mm-hmm. And the health insurance,
And the health insurance.
and the plaque.
Yeah. Alright, go.
There is something I noticed, and I'm not sure how it relates to us. Chapter 20 in here has a section for sewer. And it actually states that if we provide service to people outside the borough, we're not supposed to be in any kind of contracts or anything that they pay less than we do. They're paying $10.75 per EDU, we pay 44.
Yeah, I don't know how that
But
would
you're
work.
not providing it to them.
We're still paying per EDU.
You're not providing it to each individual person, Hamlin Township is. You're agreeing to take sewage from Hamlin Township.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's within Hamlin Township. No.
Yeah, but it says, I read it, an outside entity,
Yep,
they come into your system, cannot pay less than what we do.
And they don't.
They-
They pay $60 a month to
No,
Hamlin
to
Township.
us.
Yeah,
The agreement is between us and Hamlin
that
Township that we will
agreement's void,
take
isn't it?
their,
it's kinda old.
nothing has ever been
I don't know of any contracts that
signed.
go beyond 10 years.
I don't know when that was done.
The original contract was between the authority, and the rules are different between authorities and boroughs. And borough code is different than the
Oh, that
authority
goes-
handbook.
that's what the borough code states.
Yes.
Once the borough took over the sewer, that applied to Hamlin Township.
Alright, enough out of this.
Well, I mean, that's like $40,000-$50,000 that we're not
Well,
getting.
I don't think that we can say you have to give us the individual rate for each one of your customers when that's not our line and we're not maintaining that line. Hamlin Township is. And if I'm not mistaken, that agreement was for a lot of years, 25 or something like that.
And no increases?
And when we took over the sewer, we had agreed to take over all of their contracts that they were involved in.
I don't know, it just doesn't seem fair to the ratepayer in Jewett.
Well, I don't,
And probably should look into that chapter 20.
Well, there's two things that are coming up, in my opinion, is they might be grandfathered in, because it was even stated that authority rules versus borough rules would be different. The other part is, again, they're within Hamlin Township, I don't understand how they would fall outside that.
well, we can look into it. We'll have our lawyer look into it too.
It's good to
Make
bring
sure we're not doing anything illegal.
It's not the point of illegal, it's the point of Hamlin's paying $10.75 per EDU, and the old lady down the street here is paying $44.
Yeah, they're paying, their rate's 60 something, I mean.
They're paying
that's what they're
Hamlin
paying Hamlin.
Township $60
Yeah,
a
but they have
month
to take care of
EDU.
that's
They're giving
Right.
us $10.75.
paying for their pump stations and lines and everything else that's out there.
We'll still check. I think.
All right, if there's
Just
nothing,
something to look into.
yep.
So is anybody open to trying something to get, the aerators going, to get those
I'll
ammonia levels
talk to Marty.
going?
I'll talk to Marty. I mean, I really like, again, what Mr. Hydock said in the beginning about possibly repairing what we currently have, because we bought the new ones. I don't know what stopped that, so maybe we can look into that and then just get the old ones going again. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the sooner the better, just to get,
Right,
Because we've had a 60
Again,
or
the
75
biggest,
cent sludge increase in a year. We went from like 8 to 14 inches average.
that
yeah, something needs to be.
the only numbers I've seen so far, and this was from Mr. Hydock last month, was the 20, 21, 21.
The 22 and 23.
Yeah, 23, 21, and 21 season. But those look accurate as to what is going on.
And do we have 2024 yet?
I might have it in my email. I talked to Mr. English on,
That would be nice to see.
and I can provide that.
all right, I'll leave that you to get working on then to see what we can do to get that.
Sure.
All right, nothing else? Have a motion to,
I'll motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
everybody in favor, say aye. If you don't, sit here and be by yourself.